guys, I got 12 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order. Martin, you do a roll call.
We've got 6 present, 1 absent.
Okay. All right, first thing is on the agenda, and I guess I'm gonna turn it over to Boo. He's got they've had some meetings, and we'll kind of go through everything here real quickly.
I do want to say that Eli has transferred to day shift, and he has asked for me to remove him from this committee because when it meets, and we understand that, and I will do that in a timely manner, but he did not skip his work. Discussion of emergency preparedness. So we've talked to Clint. He's going to give us some update on prices for ADs. Greg and John's both here if we have any questions. And I'm going to couple 3 and 4 together because the discussion of the counselor program at the subcommittee meeting last Thursday, the subcommittee felt like it was in our best interest, and y'all can join in if you'd like to. All here that we put this back in the school's hands, and we held on to this money and not distributed it because we wanted to get in the counselor business. So we felt as a committee that was the best way to do it. But we have to have a partner in that because when this money's gone, this committee's gone. So we have turned it over to the school and said, this is how much money we have. And if you guys would like the help from the county, we would like to help you with this money. And if you would not, we would like to know that also so we can redistribute and change courses with our funds. So in couple of 3 and 4, we can, that's where the counselor program is. Is that an accurate assumption?
And I think, we talked to Cheryl the other day, and she said they made an appointment to go talk to Houston County. And we said, I think her and Sydney are gonna go over there.
Okay. That's
That's one stopper.
Okay. So that's the counselor program, but back to the emergency preparedness. Clint, you wanna?
Yeah, so we just, Greg and I and Joe and John kind of all got together and reached out to some of these public safety agencies about AEDs to see how many they might need to equip, things like all the deputies, some of the firemen, a couple at the courthouse, visitor center, some down in Cumberland City, things like that. We came up with about 55 was our total number. Those are $1,700 each. So if you did that, you're looking at about $93,000 to do that.
And to go a little bit further than that, I told Clint, I've had 2 churches since they either read or heard about the possibility of this being a thing, reach out and ask if they could be included also. So I don't know what that looks like, but but I did have. I didn't have a good answer. I don't have a good answer. So
I think that you just we have to be a little bit careful there. How do you select? I mean, there's 100 churches in Stewart County. So.
Yeah, and I agree. The thing about using the opioid funds for this specific thing, which has been done as close as Montgomery County, it was done in a community preparedness, and we have to make sure we follow those guidelines to accurately distribute this money and not have the state committee come back and say.
Yeah, I think Montgomery County done it under this number 5.
They did.
Which says that you would have qualified professionals there. So wherever these went, I think you'd have to make sure that those people are trained, to operate. And when Greg may want to speak, I think they would be willing to help with the training and maybe some of the other
Yes,
people.
we'll provide the training for each entity that the AEDs get in their hands. We will do all the training for that, and we will also we will keep the machines up, make sure they're working, and we will be checking them periodically to make sure pads are good, batteries are good as they're supposed to be.
Just in case somebody wasn't here, Greg, and I know you and I talked about this, talk about the lifespan of that unit, and then later on that would lead to more than likely the county commission putting it in you guys' laps about what that would look like when these things start running out.
I think the lifespan, if my recollection is right, they're about 7 years, is what one of the salesmen said.
Who already has these?
AEDs? there's a few of them out there that Greg has purchased throughout the years and kind of distributed out. There's not a ton of them out there, correct?
They're
Greg?
over 7 years old.
Yeah. Just a very few.
Does anybody come on city, Alexis, that you know?
Not that I know of. I don't, yeah.
I think Jason used to have one, but I'm sure it's way old, yeah, so.
Sounds like a good place for
We
one.
did have a couple to come down there for you all.
We have one,
Y'all have any course?
we have one in juvenile court, we got it with our friends.
How's it? Oh, yeah. Very good.
And we went and got trained on, English class.
I really like the purchase of these, but as a committee, we're in agreements that our number one would be the counselor positions and wait to see if that money, is that what we're looking at? I mean, are we in agreement with that this would be a secondary to that, wait and see if the schools, and I've asked them in a timely manner.
They say, when are they gonna let us
When
know?
are they gonna make their decision?
I didn't get a date, I just asked it to be in a timely manner, and they were in agreements with that at the subcommittee meeting, so.
When we talked to Cheryl, last week, she seemed very, I mean, she had already made contact with Houston County and, her and Sydney had already talked about going over there and setting an appointment up and they were gonna invite me to go, so, I mean, I'm assuming that that's gonna be fast. You know, the snow may slow it down.
Where are we at money wise? I mean, do we have the funds to do both or no?
We're sitting about $160,000.
I think it was the fund, what, 3 years?
Yeah, we said that we thought that I think we've got it.
Understanding there'll be the smaller distributions still coming in,
Yeah.
for some as far as 18 years out. A lot of those funds were in the $2,000 and $3,000 range, and that was as early as last week when I looked at it before the subcommittee meeting. There's some 5,000s that would come in, but not money to fund either one of these projects.
So this,
Beyond maybe 3 years.
Right.
Is that what we,
this is the council amount?
yeah.
That's for all 3 years?
No,
No.
that's per year,
Oh, okay.
per year, what is that for?
We talked about full-time counselor at the high school and then part-time for the court system over
Yeah,
there.
to see if we can get somebody to do like, A&D assessments.
Yeah, and,
IOD.
maybe that might be at a cost of, I don't know, would we say $75,000, $80,000 a year for those two positions? Is that right? Check me on that, Boo.
No, that's correct.
Was that?
Yeah, because what they were saying that was a need, was they're having a lot of alcohol-related issues, and they're having problems with the timely manners of A&D assessments. So, I just simply said, hey, is that something we could help with? And that's their need. So therefore, we priced one counselor and one, I don't know what that position would be called, but,
Part-time on that.
yeah, whatever, that would be under
Now, is this something that the board's gonna have to approve for the school, or yes?
their board would have to approve to take it into their budget.
I think what we need to do is request it, and give them time to put it on the agenda at the board and set our next meeting to where we have an answer at our next meeting about this.
I agree with that.
So maybe, send them a letter and just request that, they, discuss it with their school board and kind of give us an answer and come back. Because
Yeah, because.
we got other people who we can consider, other things we can consider here.
That's correct, and, today, in some form or fashion, we need to, distribute or plan for distribution of about $400. And I know that's not a lot of money, but that's the money that was left over from our last distribution, and we will have to give that to the state if we do not. I mean, again, that's $400, but I don't know, I'll let y'all discuss that, where you want to go, but we need to distribute that before February the 2nd, so I can get it from the county commission.
Melissa, is there like $400, is there something that maybe we could assist with one of your programs or something?
Not that I would.
$400 is not gonna go far.
Not that I wouldn't take for my program, but, I did send some plans to Dave Gens, and he's already working on the little Narcan boxes.
Okay,
So I mean, if you could just, send it to his class or his,
can you do that?
We mark $400 with the market boxes.
I don't know how that would go.
Or,
going
I
into
mean,
the school's
You have to
budget.
run it through the
Oh,
board.
or
we have to go through the
you
budget.
could give it, I mean, you could give it to us and we'll give it to them.
So you could run it through as a flow
could-
through.
yeah,
with
we
the
could run it through.
nonprofit, and then you
Yeah.
can make sure it finds its right places.
We can use it as the 400 for Narcan boxes.
Yeah, so would y'all agree that we should just call it not to exceed $500 and,
Can you get a motion on that?
yes.
Motion.
I'd like a motion.
Hey, before you get carried away,
Let me get carried away.
well, Heather sent me something. Okay. So maybe I'll- So that we don't have to come back. Okay, she said, we are down to the wire on that remaining 360 allocation from year two. So you wanna put that definite amount instead of saying,
We would put 500 and just secure that in case something happened between now and the commission meeting. And Heather said, no, it's 361.85. We don't wanna have to come back and to be honest, the wood for that the Narcan boxes and things are probably gonna be more than that anyway.
Right.
So, I feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I do too.
I had a motion here,
I second.
a second, all those in favor?
Who made the motion?
Ms.
Okay.
Alexis.
And then the second page here, this funding is not,
Second page should be direct settlement funds.
yeah,
Is that
and
correct?
it's not, it is not time allotted, it's my understanding on that. It's like the state funding, we have those deadlines that we have to meet, but then the other one is, there's no timeline
No,
on that.
I've not heard of any time funding on
Yeah,
this direct settlements, because they come from every different angle. You're literally getting these from growers and.
yeah,
And I think these direct funds is what Heather was thinking on the AEDs, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Her and
I
talked
keep
about it.
using it all in one fund, so
Yeah.
my brain.
I think
Yeah,
that's
we
what she
can-
was thinking on the AEDs.
yeah. We can.
That's
pull
great, that's
either,
about
but-
right then.
but-
You may have to pull a little bit out of there to secure your counselors and your AD assessment workers. You might have to pull a little bit out of that 93, but I don't think the 72 is that far off, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even with benefits, I looked it up in the subcommittee meeting, the average social worker in the state of Tennessee makes $48,300 and something dollars. And if I go on the average, what I took on average benefits, you're in the 37 to 39% range, right at 40%. So when you added that, the A&D assessment position, that was not a lot of money. It was more of a 20-hour-ish
Right,
position.
it's just like an endorsement.
Yeah, cause she wouldn't have enough for all of that. But we might be able to pull a little bit off of that, but I think that 72 is gonna be really close to what we're looking for now. Again, on the needle drop boxes, Bi-County is still saying they're okay with it. We need to, we need to see before we get into the mud about money. I'd hate to say we want to supply 8 of these and, and 4 Narcan boxes for the community and then us not have the money yet. So, again, we're at the mercy of the school system, so.
When does the school board meet again?
Is it the first Thursday or the second?
No, I was thinking the second Thursday, so that would look like, by my calculations, that would be the 12th. So, in if you wanted to play it safe anytime after the 16th, I think we can have another meeting. I don't know that, like a month and a half, probably give them enough time for a month.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, cause I think she just kinda wanted, but I don't think she's given like a paperwork to Mike yet, cause Mike was gone, and so I don't think they've paid. She wanted to talk to them and see what they.
Well, I asked him
first.
yesterday what
Okay.
his recommendation
Now
was, and
they-
he said, I don't have one because I haven't talked to Cheryl.
Yeah, and I think she wanted to give what they were doing to first, to kind of see what it looked like, for her to put together something to see what it looked like first. That was what I took from her, see what theirs looked like first.
That's the conversation I had with him also, he's
Yeah.
waiting on them, so we'll give them, I think that would, I'll reach out to him when we leave this afternoon, and I'll just ask him if it's something they would consider, if he feels comfortable making a decision on, or a recommendation on it to the school board or not by then. His recommendation is gonna carry a lot of weight with those guys, so, if they, and it's no offense, if they don't want it, we as a committee, we've been stalled out here for 9 months.
Well, I told him yesterday that my only concern was, like we had all said before, was that when the money run out, or is this something that you're gonna be able to absorb and keep up, you don't wanna get a good program started and then there'd be no funding there. And of course, he laughed and threw it back in my lap and said, "You're a county commissioner, you can make that happen."
Well, look, if it's
I mean, but if it's working.
yeah, it's exactly.
You can find.
We will
money.
know then.
That's right.
You know
We will
what I
know
mean?
then.
Yeah,
How do
absolutely.
you dissolve
Get rid
something
of a
that's
program
working?
That's
that's
right.
not.
It's not working.
It was
then
one of
you
those,
look back at it.
pass the buck moments.
No.
Not one.
Well, do we wanna set a meeting for us to come back now, or do we wanna wait and
See what they do.
see what they do, and then set the meeting? Cause they get, they got
Let's
snow.
see what he says as far as if he's comfortable with the timeline. He may say March, so I hope they would hear it February, but let's make sure he's comfortable with the timeline, cause it doesn't do us any good to come in here and kick the can.
That's right.
That's right.
So, and then I'll get with you and you can set the meeting with the committee whenever.
Does
Mike gives
Thursdays
us-
work okay at noon for everybody? All right, do we have any new business or anything that, else that needs to be discussed today?
I just want to circle back to the AEDs for a moment. Greg, on this pricing, do you know, I know those were under some sort of contract, do you know if that pricing is going to change at any point?
More than likely, they usually change prices 2-3 times a year.
Okay.
Because he was trying to push me before January 1. I told him I couldn't get it done before then.
Okay.
So,
Could you reach out to him and tell him, like, we're in favor, we're not voting, but it seems like the general consensus is we're in favor of it. We're just holding on one thing, and maybe he could give you a time, even if it's, end of March. If he can give us a price till the end of March and let us lock that in, we can have you, I think we can have a decision.
I'll take care of it.
Anybody else?
Thank you, guys.
All right. A motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I second.
All right.
Just take it back.
No, sir, no, the table's fine today.